Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece Chapter 1007. When we last left our heroes, Yamato and Shinobu continued their escape from the storeroom. Sanji heard about that through listening in on the Marys, forcing him to make a decision to either help them out or help the Scabbards. We don't actually know his decision, but I imagine he picked the Scabbards. Meanwhile, Paraspero finished his fight with Wanda and Carrot completely off screen because Oda keeps on doing that thing. And then back in on the performance floor, the fight for to protect Chopper during the Ice Oni cure continued as Marco had to fight King and Queen, which kind of distracted him from providing the heat to keep the Ice Oni virus at bay, leading in the chapter's climax to Hyogoro on the verge of giving in to the virus, telling his subordinates to kill him. And as he's about to die, last chapter ended. So let's jump right on into chapter 1007, Mr. Raccoon Dog. Because again, Viz just will not let us call Chopper, won't let us say the word Tanuki. Anyway, our cover here is Caesar giving penguin children gas-filled balloons, which is nicer than anything Caesar Clown has ever done in his life. But yeah, it's pretty cute. Anyway, we open back inside the dome where we left off last time. Performance floor inside the dome. And we hear, I'm guessing these are Kaido's men. I don't believe it! Virtually all the captains of the Oniwa Banshu and the Mimo... This tripped me up last time. And Mimawari Gumi are down. Daikoku, Kazekage, Commander Hote! And we see them, they're all just kind of beat up by Hyogoro and his subordinates. So that's the power of the legendary Yakuza, huh? And Apu just watches in awe. He resisted the effects of the Ice Oni, but still used its power. And X-Drake acknowledging him, I think I can see why people feared Wano so much. And then we cut back to where we left off last time, as Hyogoro's subordinate is still kind of hesitating to kill him. Boss Hyogoro! Wah! And Hyogoro admonishes him, don't waste time, Yatape. Empty your mind. And we see Hyogoro's Oni fangs are really growing in. If I turn into an Oni... I know, boss. And we see Yatape? Yatape is his name, but covering his eyes, crying. Just give me a moment. I'll do it. I'll do it right now. And someone calls over, Boss Yatape! And the other Yakuza member from last time, turn away, sobbing. Of course he's struggling. That man is like a father to us all. And Hyogoro, growling, says to her, do it now, Sunagoro. I can't hold on either. There's no saving me at this point. Don't let me hurt you after I turn. Bosso Masa. Oh no, that's another person, I think. Thanks to how Shueisha's manga reader is so it makes some of these panels so small. Whoever's talking there just looks like a collection of lines. I can't make up any kind of distinguishable feature on him. Maybe if I try to zoom in or something. Nope, that left me super fucking lost. So I'm gonna go back to this chapter. Let's ignore that ever happened. Anyway. Bosso Masa! Yeah, that is someone else. My laptop has two different zoom-in features. I tried the other one. But yeah, anyway, Bosso Masa. That long tangent aside, some of the samurai are calling out, damn it! Isn't there any way we can make it in time? Is the medicine ready yet, Mr. Raccoon Dog? Once again, this floor and all the people on it are being ravaged by the Ice Oni. So yeah, once again, we're kind of seeing that Marco is sort of busy dealing with King and Queen, and so he can't really save them anymore. And then some of Queen's subordinates call out, help us, Master Queen! Why must we suffer? Why do we have to die from our own boss's virus? And Queen, who is not that busy with Marco, I guess. Right, because Queen was going to check on King after Marco blasted him away. But I guess Marco hasn't found Queen again, I'm guessing? Anyway, Queen looks at his subordinate. What? And then he turns back into his, like, Brachiosaurus form. Shut up, you nobodies! What? Ice Oni is my masterpiece. In a sense, I made it just for you. And then he turns to some of the pleasures, I guess. You pleasures. You already gambled on a chance to gain powers and failed. You're dead weight that does nothing but laugh. The pleasures laugh. Hey, that's messed up. And then he turns to the waiters. You waiters. There's no more shipment of smile fruits coming to us. You've lost your chance to gain powers. Oh yeah, that's something I never really kind of thought about, is that the existence of a class called waiters doesn't really make sense to still exist, given that the smile fruits have not been produced since, like, what, Punk Hazard? I don't think there was any left over on Dressrosa, but at the very least since Dressrosa, but I don't think since Punk Hazard. Anyway, you'll be waiting forever. So if there's any way you layabouts will ever be useful to this almighty crew, is by becoming Oni in your last moment and letting your death serve a glorious purpose. Huh? That just sounds like you're telling us to die. And then Queen focuses on the guy. That's exactly what I'm saying. We can always find more soldiers. So I'm curious here, is that going to lead to some kind of turn? Like, is there going to kind of be a larger point here that part of Kaido's undoing, or at the very least of Queen's undoing, is alienating his own troops? You know, by Queen's wanton massacre of his own men, is that going to push them into the alliance and then put Kaido in the position that even if he somehow wins the war, he doesn't have a crew anymore. You know, he has maybe the headline. Are the headliners Jack King and Queen, or are they just the larger, any important members are headliners? But he has Jack King Queen, he has the Toby Roppo, maybe a few gifters who stick with him. But, like, by and large, his crew will kind of desert him in the aftermath of the Ice Oni incident. Anyway, we see a pleasure react. Yeah, that's so wrong. How can you say that? And then one of the waiters, I can't believe it. And then Queen snaps, I gave you a chance for survival. A few of you could have used those antibodies to survive. And just then an Oni strikes a member of the Beast Pirates. And the Beast Pirates all kind of react to their betrayal. Damn it, I'm not just gonna lay down and die. Cut down everyone who's an Ice Oni, whether friend or samurai. As soon as I survive this ordeal, I'm quitting this pirate crew. And then we see some of the Alliance members listening in. They may be our enemies, but their abusive system makes me sick to my stomach. And then Queen kind of turns to taunt the samurai. Hey, samurai, you might think you're over there fighting the good fight or whatever, but that raccoon dog's a pirate, just like us. Multiply the antibodies in this short amount of time? You're dreaming. Mwahaha! It's impossible! He's gonna use the antibodies on himself and make his escape. You'll be left holding the bag. Mwahaha! So here, you know, maybe this is just Queen being evil, but it could also be Queen kind of seeing the problem that he's sort of created that I pointed out a couple of pages ago, that his own troops are going to turn on him. And here trying to get Chopper's troops to turn on him in exchange. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, no, that's just what you would do. So it's not really working. And then Queen responds, ha, we'll see. Pirates stab each other in the back. That's just our style. And then, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on right here. I think this is a couple of samurai calling boss. And is this about Hyogoro? I'm assuming it's about Hyogoro. Because we come back to Yatape, I think. Yeah, Yatape. As he's going to finally getting around to killing Hyogoro. Don't worry, boss Hyogoro. I'll be joining you soon. And Hyogoro tells him, don't rush. Take your time catching up. Farewell. And the samurai call, boss, don't go! And as Yatape brings the sword down, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Chopper who gets in the way. Wait! Which could mean that Hyogoro will live, after all. Okay. And we see Chopper's smiling face. Made it! Just in time! And yeah, Chopper looks cured. The ice is gone. He's safe, and now he can make everyone else safe. What? Mr. Raccoon Dog! Oh, this is really going to heat up your body. It'll hurt a bit, but you're going to be fine. I think this is Yatape's tears. But the whole performance floor just starts to cheer. We're saved! We always knew you'd come through, Mr. Raccoon Dog. Chopper calls Miyagi. Tristan, hurry it up. And the two of them have gotten their whatever plan they've got ready. We're all ready to go, Dr. Chopper. And they pull out a cannon. A cannon? Fire! And it fires what looks like a mushroom cloud with Chopper's face. Chopper Phage Nebulizer. Yeah, whoa! And I'm assuming that gas is going to de-onify everyone. And Queen snaps, what do you think you're doing, Raccoon Dog? Before I go any further, though, I should probably take a second to talk about Hyogoro. Because, like, it's sort of, I don't know, like, last chapter made this big old deal about Hyogoro dying. And it was a fitting, climactic end for his journey. And it's a little cheap, maybe, to spare him. It's not as bad as, like, Pound surviving, or Pell surviving. But, like here at least it makes sense. You know, Chopper happens to finish just in time. But, like, given just how much of Hyogoro's scenes last chapter were, like, focused on his death, and the world, and, like, how he will leave Wano, the state of Wano as he dies. It's just a little cheap for him to just, like, not actually die. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's a little cheap. Anyway, what do you think you're doing, Raccoon Dog? And we're seeing the ice kind of fade away from people. There are thousands upon thousands of and this is Chopper. There are thousands upon thousands of warriors on this floor. It would be impossible to inject them all one by one. So I use these antibodies to create my own virus. I can stop a bad virus with a good virus instead. Okay, so it's not an injection, it's an infection. He's going to spread this counter virus around. That's a really interesting concept. I wonder if that could be helpful with our own pandemic. I mean, I know it can't, but, like, you know what I mean. Topical references. And using this method, I can give everyone the medicine they need in the form of a mist. And Queen just kind of starts to, like, glower at Chopper. And asks, where did the ship doctor from a crew out of nowhere get this kind of expertise? And Chopper explains, we split up and went all over the world to train for this. He's so honest. I love him so much. I love Chopper so much. He's a strong choice for my fave, Straw Hat. Like I said before, Brooke would be my favorite if it weren't for the panty jokes. Chopper might just be my fave. He's just a pure boy. He's a pure boy and he deserves the world. Anyway, Queen snaps back, why have you bothered to cure my guys at the Ice Oni? And Chopper yells, viruses aren't meant to be used as weapons. They'll always slip out of your control in the end. I mean, yeah, he's super right. That, like, definitely would happen. And Queen readies his, like, laser beam. I don't need to take lessons in ethics from a stupid raccoon dog. Who do you think I am? And a couple of beast pirates get in the way. Look out, Mr. Raccoon Dog! And I can't tell... Yeah, so Queen does fire into one of the beast pirates, it looks like. Pleasures? Yeah, huh? What are you people doing? Get out of the way, idiots! And the pleasures, just like I was predicting earlier in the chapter, snap back at him. Shut up, Queen! You nearly killed our brothers with this stunt. This raccoon dog saved our lives. We're not gonna sit still and get murdered by an insane boss. We'd rather die on the side of the guy who saved our lives. Ain't that right, boys? So yeah, like I was saying, this is the moment where honestly, this chapter right here might kind of be the pivotal moment of the arc. If this leads to a mass exodus of Beast Pirate members to join the Alliance, then all of a sudden, Kaido's got maybe 8 subordinates that actually matter. He has King, Jack, Queen, and the 5 members of the Tobi Roppo who have not already betrayed him. So, this could be the moment, the definitive moment in which Kaido loses any real chance of victory. I mean, I doubt even Kaido could beat... Maybe Kaido could, because he's a shonen villain. But it's unlikely he'd be able to beat every single pirate fighting him all at once. Without his troops, what has he got left? Anyway. Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Raccoon Dog. Die, Queen. And Queen snaps at them. These morons. And just then, Marco shows up again. That's what's going on there. He's using his wing to kind of grab Queen around the very, 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 very long neck. Nice job, Raccoon Dog. Now pop him. Thanks, Marco. I've got one other thing to say. And he tosses in a rumble ball, summoning monster points, and he just slaps King with the full force of monster points. I'm not a raccoon dog! What a King moment. What a King moment from my epic son. I love him so much. And Queen's blaff. And every single character in the performance floor just kind of gasps, oh, sorry. None of these people have ever heard of a reindeer. I mean, I understand that people who lived in Wano their entire lives not knowing what a reindeer is and thinking that he's a tanuki. But, Marco and Drake are, world travelers. Drake's a marine. Marco is a white-beard pirate. He should know what a reindeer is. I don't think they're that rare. Anyway, I just want to take a moment and stare at this panel. I love it so much of Chopper's slap. Anyway, now it's time to change tacks. Over to the right brain tower inside the dome, back with Team Yamato. Anyway, so Yamato is telling Shinobu and Momo, each floor of the castle has its own spacious area under the roof. I hope it's not hurting you back there, Momonosuke. And Momo tells him, I am hurting. I feel disgusted with myself. Everyone thinks too highly of me. I'm so stupid and frivolous and weak and foolish, and I hate myself. And Shinobu tries to comfort him. No, Lord Momonosuke, you've been so brave. And just then, Momonosuke starts to writhe from under Yamato's shirt and pops out in his dragon form. I am not brave. Whoa! What? An eel? Lord Momonosuke? Hold on, has Shinobu not seen Momonosuke's dragon form yet? I guess not. The more interesting thing, though, is what Yamato says. Because Yamato specifically calls him an eel, which is a kind of fish. And my first thought would be that Yamato, being the son of Kaido, would have seen Kaido in his dragon form before and know what a dragon looks like. Specifically the type of dragon that both Kaido and Momo are. But his response to seeing Momo is to call him an eel, which calls back to, I think it was 999, when we learned what Kaido's devil fruit was, the fish fruit. So, I feel like there's some grander connection there. I don't know. I'm curious how that all is going to play out. Because I feel like there's something there that I'm not quite working out. Anyways, we then cut to the guest parlor, which, as I recall, is where CP0 is. As a member of CP0 was saying, speaking of Kaido, back in the days when the Navy had him held captive. Okay, what's that about? Was that in the aftermath of God Valley? Because that's my best bet as to when that would have been. But I don't know. There might be something I'm forgetting, but I don't think so. So that must have been sometime after God Valley. Back in the days when the Navy held him captive, Vegapunk extracted Kaido's bloodline elements and used them to create an artificial devil fruit. I feel like, is bloodline elements one of those things you very briefly heard mentioned in reference to Vegapunk, but had not been extrapolated on yet, I think? I don't know. The government demanded that he give them the fruit, but he was never happy with the results and considered it a failure. He had it stored at Punk Hazard ever since then. Oh. So that's where Momo's devil fruit came from. Okay. And another member asks him, why are you bringing that up now? Punk Hazard was demolished in that explosion. Well, let's hope the fruit got blown up when that happened. But according to G5's reports, one of the labs there was still functioning at the time. I was just thinking to myself, thank goodness it was only a failure. Okay, so let me try to remember, fish back to Punk Hazard. So how much did the government know about what was going on Punk Hazard? Because G5 is where Smoker was, right? And so that's Smoker's reports. And the lab is where they found the Smile Fruit. I'm just trying to remember where Momo found his devil fruit, because I don't remember if we ever saw it, actually. Did we meet Momo post him getting his devil fruit? I don't remember. Anyway, treasure repository behind the tower. So this is where the Akazaya are. And they're all kind of picking themselves up. Who tended to us? I do not know. I feel as though I saw this is a Kawamatsu, but it must have been a dream, because it couldn't possibly be true. And Kinemon tells them all, Sir Luffy's group is engaging with Kaido for now. The battle still rages all over the island. We must go. There's still life in us to spend. So they're about to come right back into the fight. And just then the door slams open. Just look at you. You've gone through hell. And, that's Oden. That's Oden. That is definitively Oden. I've missed you. You're so much older now. Wah ha 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 ha. And everyone, hits the floor. Huh? And you see Kinemon, tears in his eyes. Lord Oden! Next chapter hits March 28th. Okay. Let's talk about Oden first. Okay. So, my first thought is it must be some kind of shapeshifter, which would immediately turn to Mr. 2, but then why? Why would he be here? Because, they should still be on in Impel Down, ruling 5.5 as the new Kama Queen. And so they can't possibly be here. And yet, how could Oden be alive? And there's that you're so much older now, implying that he isn't? I don't remember the exact scene of Oden's death. Was it... we saw his corpse, right? There's no way he could have survived, right? Right? I think? I don't know. How? What? If he was alive, why was he in hiding all this time? I don't know. Actually, I said I was going to talk about Oden first, and we're done talking about Oden. We're going to let that twist simmer until next chapter in 2 weeks. Let's put Oden away for a couple of weeks. Let's talk about the rest of this chapter, and fucking Chopper, the king, and Queen, the fool. Let's be honest, like I said, this is the moment, I'd argue, where Kaido is lost. As his troops are abandoning him because Queen was just going to fucking murder them. What can he do? Can he really rule the world with, 8 people? I don't think you can. And eventually, it's not going to be that hard to stop you. Admittedly, he still has Big Mom on his side for now, but Big Mom is like not subtle about wanting to kill him, so that's not going to end well, I don't think. Um, but yeah, I just love Chopper. I love Chopper so much. Um, again, Hyogoro surviving is a little. Why go through all of that dramatic work last chapter? But just seeing Chopper's like glowing face and Chopper just winning. Chopper just wins. He saves everyone. He kicks ass, and he slaps Queen. And I don't like. A part of me is like, oh, this is kind of a like thematically, character wise, this is a good ending for Queen. You know, Queen is utterly defeated. Queen's um 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 Queen is defeated on almost the same grounds that he kind of like Queen in, especially in Onigashima, has been defined by how little he cares about his subordinates. And so he is defeated by someone who cares not just for his own allies, but for Queen's subordinates. And that is directly tied into Queen's defeat. I think on a thematic level, Queen exiting stage left here works really, really well. Um, I'm not quite sure if, by the rules of shonen action, a single slap would count as Queen's defeat. But I think from, like, character writing, from thematic work, from all that good shit, this is a good spot for Queen to just be kind of dead. Also allows Marco to focus on King. Even if Queen gets back up, it's going to be, you know, Marco will be able to focus on King, and Chopper and Queen will have their own kind of solo fights. So that could be fun to see, but also I don't think we really need it. I think this works pretty well as the ending for Queen. But yeah, I just love it so much. I love seeing the pieces very slowly build as Queen just doesn't care about his troops. You know, the pleasures or failures, the waiters will never get their powers. There's no point to them anymore. So just die. Just fucking die. And then he loses because Chopper's like, no one is dying here. I love that. I love that so much. Like that's some good shit. Yeah. Anyway, oh, okay. I looked up the bloodline elements thing. Back I just kind of googled it on the wiki, and it was part of what Judge was using, um, to build his children. That's how he made the Vinsmokes into superhumans and all that. Okay, all right, and also can be used for Momonosuke's devil fruits. Anyway, so yeah, that's this chapter. That's a segue into talking about Momo, which again puts up a direct link between Momo and Kaido. Not a natural link, but one that's kind of been forged by Momo's consumption of the artificial devil fruits. And yeah, we'll see what comes of that next time as well. With Oden back in the picture, I think it's time to focus on the Kozuki. Yeah, I don't know. A lot to deal with now that Oden is apparently alive. Maybe. Because the only person who could pretend to be him would be if Mr. 2 had touched him while Oden was alive, which I don't think is possible. But yeah, this is a great chapter. Fucking fantastic. I am, 10 out of 10. This is some good shit. 9.5 out of 10. Hyogoro living, well, he had that whole thing last time. It's kind of eh. But, like, holy shit, this is a bop. This is one hell of a chapter. And I cannot wait to see where One Piece takes us next. So I'm going to leave this video up here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!